Guys, I'm Christy from Blingee Thingee, an online craft supply shop. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm just going to be showing you guys how to apply rhinestones to the back of this boot. This is a Koolaburra boot, which is made by Uggs. They look just like Uggs, but they're a lot cheaper than just regular Uggs. These were about $60. I got them at Macy's or Kohl's, I think. And the Uggs, original boot was $160 in the same style. So it was about $100 cheaper. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. And the stone that I'm going to be using is a crystal AB stone in a size 5mm SS20. This is a crystal AB and it's a glass rhinestone. So as you can see, these are really, really pretty and they reflect a lot of different colors. So that's what I'm going to be applying to the back of the shoe. Now I went ahead and I have already filled up my glue syringe with some E6000 glue. So I'm going to be using that today. But I'll also be using just the E6000 tube also to apply some of my glue. And then I have my little yellow wax pencil that I use most of the time to pick up the stones. And if for any reason I don't like it, then I have a couple of backup tools that I always have on hand. So I'm going to start. There's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just how I'm going to do it today. I'm going to start here on the middle of the back of the boot and work my way up like that, and then I'll lay the boot down and do kind of this side part. So that's the pattern that I'm going to follow today, but there's really not a right or wrong way. It's just the way that I'm going to do it today. So I'm going to go ahead and use my craft syringe and start applying the glue. I actually want to come right here on the side of this label. I'm going to go straight down, and that is where I want to start because I really want that straight line. Actually, I'm going to come up just a little bit because it's important to me that everything lines up really, really good. So I'm going to go right here, and then I'm just going to kind of come straight down there. Hope you guys can see this good. So the really good thing about these Koolaburra shoes is that they're great for kids because kids outgrow their shoes and their boots and stuff so quick. So this is just a really nice, affordable alternative to an Ugg boot. And then also if you do custom bling work for people, a lot of times, people don't want to spend over $200 for a pair of boots. So this is also a really nice alternative for that. Also, you can offer them a different brand that's a little bit more affordable. Okay, so I'm gonna, while my glue's wet, I can still move this stone around. So I need to get closer to that. I always feel like just the groundwork, the initial placing of the stones is like just kind of setting the foundation for everything else. And so I always want it to just be just perfect. Okay, so this is kind of like how I've just started that. I feel like my camera is not, I'm using my phone and it's not wanting to focus really good for some reason this morning. Okay, but anyway, that's what I've started. And then now, okay, so my glue is oozing out a little bit. So I always have wet wipes, always have wet wipes. Sometimes this, the glue will kind of ooze out or it's stringy, and I just like to have something so that I can really keep everything clean and so my work is like not messy. So just kind of for this, I'm going to keep using my craft syringe, but I'll eventually switch over and start using my, just the end of the tube of the glue. Now I'm just going to go right around. I'm actually going to come back up here and apply just a little bit more glue up here. Now, if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably lay this boot down a little bit. But since I'm trying to hold it where you guys can see, kind of got it standing up, but so I initially thought I was going to go with a clear rhinestone on the shoes, but because I want to add that really pretty crystal AB bow embellishment, I decided that I wanted to have some crystal AB stones on this. So that's the reason why I selected these. This is one of the most popular colors in the glass rhinestones because they're just so pretty and sparkly, and they just kind of reflect all these different colors. And so this stone is really popular. The clear in the glass is also really popular because it's just a really high quality rhinestone, but it's a lot less expensive than a genuine Swarovski stone. So a lot of people prefer this stone. And this is a non-hotfix, and so you have to use glue to adhere it to the item that you're working on. Okay, so now I'm going to come back over here and I'm just going to do the same thing. Get a glue line and go straight down. And you want to be careful too that when you're pulling your syringe away after you've applied the glue, you want to make sure that you don't have a big string that's getting all over the place. So, and then my glue is still wet, so I can move them around here in a minute just to kind of straighten them out really good so they look nice and straight. Okay, so see how we just kind of started that. These stones are just really pretty. And now what I'm going to do is just come in and fill in this underneath here, and then we'll work on the rest of the shoe. But see how my glue is still wet? See how these two stones are kind of coming down? So I'm able to move them around and just kind of straighten them up. And so I always recommend that when you start working on stuff, like, you know, after you do a row or something, stop for a minute and just kind of check your work out, and if anything needs to be straightened up, like see here, this is kind of creeping down. That's why if I wasn't doing this video, I would have my shoe kind of more in a way that it was not where everything can kind of slide down with the wet glue, but I'm trying to make it where you can see it on the camera. So I'm just kind of moving these around. Now I'm pretty happy with where they are, and so I'll just kind of keep my eye on them too and make sure that they're not shifting around on me, so everything stays really nice and straight. Okay, so I'm going to wipe my little glue syringe off because the E6000 is kind of coming out the top. So now I'm just going to come down here and I'm actually just going to go ahead and fill in this whole little section here because I don't know what is wrong with my camera today. It keeps wanting to go out of focus. My phone is so old. I probably need to get another one. That might be half the problem. And I do want to mention, if you guys have never worked with E6000 glue, the fumes can be a little bit strong, so just make sure that you're working in a very well ventilated area, so you're not just breathing in those fumes. I know I say that in all my videos, but I just feel like it's super important. So, and this little tool works great. Even with these heavier glass stones, it still picks them up really, really nice. So I'm going to leave links for everything in the description box. So if you decide you want to do this project, you can pick up the items. They're all in my shop, except the boots, of course. And like I said, I got these at either Kohl's or Macy's. I forget which one. But I'll leave a link for these crystal AB glass rhinestones and a 5mm, the E6000 glue, the wax pencil, and then the pretty little bows I'm going to add at the end. I'll also leave a link for those guys if you decide you want those. I feel like those little bows are just so cute, especially like on a little girl's shoe. And then you can also put those bows like on the front of a pair of like flats. They're really cute. And then I'll show you also at the end of this video the technique that I use to get those bows to stay on the shoe. And see how I'm just moving these around till I get them exactly how I want them to be. And then see that? Look how pretty and sparkly they are. Okay, so that's just like the first part. I'm actually going to let this dry for just a few minutes to kind of let that glue set, because I don't want these stones sliding around. And then I'm going to go and work up the top. I'm going to go straight up, and then I'll lay them down and do the sides. Okay, so I just finished doing the back middle part, and as you can see, they're lined up pretty straight, and those crystal AB stones, they're just gorgeous. So now I'm just going to work on finishing up the sides. Guys, so I finished adding the rhinestones to the back of this boot and they turned out really, really pretty. I love these crystal AB rhinestones. They're really, really nice. So now what I want to show you though is how I took this boot and I applied this really pretty crystal AB embellishment bow on the back of the boot. So, and I'll show you how I did that. Now, when I first took on this project, I thought, oh, you know what? I can just easily sew it on there or use a safety pin. And guess what? It just did not work. There was something about the material of the boot that was just really, really hard to get a safety pin or a needle through. And then also this bow, it was just almost impossible to get any kind of needle or anything through it. So what I came up with that seems to be working is, and I'll leave a link for these in my shop also. They're like little sticky backs, kind of Velcro-ish tabs. These are about a 10 millimeter. And so what I did was I just kind of put one right on the center of the bow. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is also just put its opposite. So there's one side of it will be, it's kind of bristly feeling. And then the other one is just, it's a little bit more soft feeling. So I put the sticky side, the prickly side on the bow. And now what I'm going to do, let me make sure I kind of get these about the right same height. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just kind of take this and stick this right on the back of that boot seam, since that's what's going right down the center of the boot. So I'm just going to stick that on there. Make sure it's on there really good. And then I can attach my bow. Now, because of the weight of the bow and its size and stuff, one doesn't want to hold it very good. It still wants to kind of lean down like this. So what I did on this particular boot was I'm also, here I'll show you. I put another of the little tabs here and then also on the back of the bow. And then they stick right on there. And then I also did the same thing on this side. So that, see, it's got its little thing there and then the little tab there, and then I can just Velcro them. So you can do that, and then that way it'll just really hold the bow in place. And another really, really nice thing about those is that, here, I'm just going to show you how easy these things, like they hold really well, but they also come off really well. So if you have it where you want to wear the bows on the shoes sometimes, and then sometimes you don't, you can easily remove these little tabs, and they easily come off the back of the boot too. So that is one thing that I really like about these little things. So that's all you have to do, and then you'll get your little embellishment bow to stick right on the back of the boot. They're super, super cute. These would be so cute for like a little girl. So there you go. I'll leave links for everything in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.